the old paradigm versus the new paradigm, which is marked for many of us as a COVID world. It's a new era and you gotta adapt. To discuss the ways being an artist that are no longer sustainable in this new world, Stephanie Carlin. Stephanie, hey, how's everything?
Hey there. I am great. How are you, Peter?
Fantastic. So, this the whole old paradigm, the old way of doing things, and I think there's a kind of a theme here because when Daniel, we were talking about with the Duke about Spotify and saying it's like this is the old way of doing things. You got to change because this is what's happening, and you have to adapt.
Yeah, I'd really like to tie in to what Dave and Aisha talked about because I am really, really thrilled to be part of this new paradigm, to be a part of, like, it's really a totally uncharted world. And I believe COVID marks this shift in our physical world. And I believe this shift has been coming for years. And I love watching this old stuff get decimated and be part of the generation that does the difficult work of transitioning into a better America, a better music industry, a better world for all. And Alanis Morissette has a new song and it's called Such Pretty Forks in the Road. And I love the title. I couldn't agree more. That's where we are. And last week, Alanis hopped on a public Zoom interview with Liz Phair in the LA Times. And I just want to say, like, I'm self-conscious to even mention these two icons because I know what's been ingrained in me about them. I have fallen into the trap of being so annoyed by Alanis Morissette without any reason other than the opinions of others said for me to be annoyed. People hate her. And I realized I don't even know why they hate her. Is it that she was strong in a time where it was just more popular to be fuckable? I mean, I just remember rolling my eyes every time I heard her name when I was an emerging songwriter. I just did not want to be pigeonholed into being like Alanis. And I really have no idea why, looking back. All I know is I was told over and over again, that's not the type of songwriter you want to be. And I see now that we're taught to hate certain women, especially in this industry, and we just don't know why. Now, this one's not in the music industry, but it's similar to Monica Lewinsky. What does that name conjure up to you? For most, it's the blue dress, but it's not that she's a massive anti-bullying advocate. That is not what gets covered in the news. It's not what she's known for, her humanitarian work. And this is what Liz and Alanis talked about on their Zoom call as part of the old paradigm, which, by the way, I don't get why any artist will miss this unless you benefited from it. And I want to share a quote from it. Alanis called it out. She said, quote, "Back then, it was a very guy-centric time. Labels, musicians, they didn't know what to do with me. If they couldn't screw me, they would ignore me. It was like I was an alien. I was going to sleep with them or I wasn't going to exist." And she continued. She said, "There were exceptions, of course, but that was pretty much how it was. A lot of men in the 90s would say to me, 'Oh, I love women. Women are amazing.' And then I'm like, no, you like to fuck women. That's not the same thing." End quote. And then Liz went on to talk about how as a woman, you were either tokenized or masculinized in the music industry. And like one woman at a time would be played by radio stations. So I say all this just to say, yeah, the industry is changing. Yeah, artists are angry at Spotify and it feels like this industry is really evolving. But so much of it wasn't working anyway. It was only working for the people who created and benefited from an oppressed culture. And now is the time for transformation. And transformation gets sticky. Transformation only lives inside a crisis. So I wonder, are you going to be part of the transformation? I bet if you're here with us today, you are. And one place to start is with like Taylor Swift. Same thing. Like I hated Taylor Swift so much before I watched her documentary on Netflix. You should watch it. She is incredibly awesome. But I've been manipulated into thinking she's lame. But actually, I've just been subliminally set up to dislike women by a culture that benefits from it. So I ask you, every time you want to roll your eyes at anyone, men included, just think about if it's your thoughts or someone else's, because the new paradigm requires us to trust ourselves and not get spoon-fed opinions by the oppressors that those manipulations serve.
Boom. I mean, You just really you just took that home. So today, I mean, everybody was fantastic today. I just want to put that out there. Everybody was just spot on. It's like so much passion, so much drive, and and so much great information. And I know, Stephanie, I mean, I'm not even going to try to dig in deeper where you were going, because that would almost detract. But there is something that you have going on that you started. It's a 5-day trust challenge. Can you tell us a little about this?
Yeah, so I was seeing with all of my clients, all the artists I work with, all the creative entrepreneurs I partner with, that people are really struggling right now with how to pivot inside this new paradigm. And I say it starts with trusting yourself and weeding out all these outdated belief systems. So I am now doing a trust yourself challenge for creators, artistic leaders, and entrepreneurs. And I'd love for you to join us.
Well, where can we find out more? I'm going to put it in the show notes. So tell us where you can find it.
Yeah, it's free to join. We're on day 3 tomorrow. You can grab all the replays if you sign up over at the Women's Collective, that's with an S, thewomenscollective.com/challenge.